Hey folks, I'm Tori. Welcome to Bass Strategy. It's June, and you know what that means. It's time to talk about everything May. May favorites. Let's go. So May, if I were to describe May, I would say it was inconsistent and incomplete. So I didn't get to do everything I set out to do in May, and there were a couple of reasons for it. The biggest reason was I got really sick early May. I actually had a trip planned out. I took the day off to make a trip to this pond a couple hours away. I scouted it out in April, and I knew there was going to be some good fishing to be had there right at the spawn. Right as I was getting better, I got into some poison ivy, some pretty terrible poison ivy all over my body, which didn't keep me off the water, but it was definitely a detractor, and my mind wasn't fully into it when I had all this poison ivy all over myself. Inconsistent because there were some days where it was on and some days where it was really, really tough. But that's what you get this time of year. Once you get into the post-spawn, it can really be difficult when those fish kind of shut down for a little while. There's this window where they're just not biting the way they usually do. And then it's going to start picking up as we head into June. So jumping right into some of my favorite, the standouts. My favorite lure of the month was by far this X-Zone Ned Zone stick paste with that bulbous tail. And I paired that up with a Picasso 1/8 ounce Ned head. When the bite was going well for me, that put the most fish in the boat, and when the bite was tough, that lure was able to just put one or two of those fish in the boat when I would have otherwise been skunked. So to me, it was a no-brainer, and that was the favorite lure for me of the month, my go-to. So talking about another standout this month, a little while ago I posted a video of my first impressions of the St. Croix Legend Tournament rod, and I think this is a good time to follow up on that because that is a phenomenal rod. I liked it so much, I got that rod for my swim jigs, and I liked it so much I got another rod for my worming creature application, just general purpose worming rod. On the water, that rod is incredible. It's very sensitive, it's light, it's pretty well balanced. It might be a little bit tip heavy, but I'm not really thinking about that too much when I'm on the water. I do notice when I'm at home and I have it in my hands with the rod and my reel paired up with it, it feels a little tip heavy, but when I'm on the water using it, it's just not really a factor for me anymore, and it just feels super light and sensitive. Another thing I wanted to point out were the micro guides on that rod. They seem like they would be small and my connection knot would get stuck in them. It does not. It just goes right through. I have not had a problem with my connection knot, and I do almost always have a leader tied on. So there's always that connection knot to think about. Now I also have the Legend Elite Series rod, and it's not as refined and as sensitive as the Legend Elite Series. That rod, if you have the money to spend, is just otherworldly. So perfectly balanced, light, and you can feel the tiniest nibble. It is so sensitive. But when you're talking about going up from the Avid series, which is about $50 to $80 less expensive than the Legend Tournament, it's a huge difference. If you were in the market for a rod and you were looking at the Avid series, I would say stop, save up the $50 to $80 more, wait for one to go on sale, do whatever it takes to get the Legend Tournament rod. I loved that Avid series rod. It was one of my favorite rods that I had, and I still really like it, but it's ever since I've gotten those Legend Tournament rods, I just want to upgrade that rod to the Legend Tournament. So it just took a little bit of the enjoyment I had out of that Avid rod. Unfortunately, it took a little bit out of the way. It's still a great rod, but definitely the Legend Tournament is that much better for not much more money. So looking forward into June, last month I looked forward into May, and I thought the Ned rig, I featured the Ned rig as something new I was going to try out, and it turned out that that was definitely the technique for the month for me. So I'm going to try that again going into June, and that's going to be all about the creature. Now there's a couple of lures that are going to start coming on as we head into the early summer, but June for me has been the best time of year for the creature. I got this one rigged up here. This is the Kitech Crazy Flapper, and I also really like, my favorite's probably this Missile Bait's Destroyer, and that's the full size. So this Destroyer has these really long curling, kicking tails, and I always start there. I like that. When that creature bite is on, they just go after that aggressive curly tail action. Now, if I feel like it's a little bit not wide open on the creature bite, then I'll go to the Crazy Flapper. And it's still got a lot of action, but it's a little bit more of a compact package. So I'm really looking for the creature to turn up for me heading into June. So we'll see how that goes. All right, time for the special thanks and special no thanks of the month. Special thanks, you know, we actually had a friendly family of geese. Let's go take a look at what happened on the water. Come on, geese, don't do it. There you go. A little small guy. Oh boy. Now that is a small bass. A little bit bigger than my hand, but it's a bass. Let it go. Here we got this family of geese up here, and they were gonna walk into the water. And I saw them and I said, "Please, geese, don't walk in the water." And then they didn't. And then I caught that little fish. So finally, man and goose work together. So nice geese out there. Looked like they were going to be stepping in the water and getting in my way. They didn't. I was able to catch a fish. So thank you, geese. Special no thanks. I'm going to have to give it to the swimmers. A couple trips ago I was out and the swimmers were brutal. I'm talking brutal. Now, I did a special no thanks last year on the swimmer, but I have to do it again, and I have to explain. These aren't just, you know, kids going swimming. These swimmers are swimming with a purpose and an intent to. I am out on the lake and I am anchored on the other side of the pond, okay? Anchored. Far away from the beach, okay? And it's 6 o'clock in the morning, it is cloudy, and it is going to be drizzling and raining, and it's 46 degrees. Who is swimming at 6 o'clock in the morning when it's 46 degrees, okay, on a cloudy, rainy day? Okay, so let's just lay that out right there. So right off the bat, you got people who, you're not swimming to have fun, okay? You're swimming for a purpose. Now, I am anchored on the other side of the lake, and these people are swimming. They get in the water and they're making a beeline toward my boat, okay? They know I'm there. But like I said, these aren't just regular swimmers. These people, I'm telling you, are, for some reason, they want to make a statement about swimming, or about having a boat, or about fishing. I don't know what the statement is. I'm going to have to ask them next time because it was ridiculous. They would swim straight for me. So I say, okay, I'm about done in this spot anyway. I'm going to pull my anchor and go out of their way, way out of their way, and anchor again. So what do? They swim to where my boat was. They kind of like regroup in their little group. There was a swimming group. And then they come swimming toward my boat again. And they swim right. no problems hooking these swimmers. So why? I think they feel entitled to the water, or either that. But here's the thing, if you're feeling entitled to the water, you wouldn't. Anyway, special no thanks to the swimmers. You've got to give some room. You have to understand that there's plenty of places to swim. And I don't even care if you're swimming in the pond. Just swim away, give me some space. Give any boat some space for your safety and my own enjoyment. Alright guys, well I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me that like and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.